Not too long ago, Avril Lavigne dropped her seventh studio album, Love Sucks. What this album offers is a jam-packed ride through 12 tracks across just a half hour of runtime. Though it may be on the shorter end of duration, it works almost perfectly. After about a decade of pursuing different avenues, trying new sounds and styles, Avril has returned home to what many consider to be the perfect type of music for her. Having debuted at number 9 on the Billboard 200 albums chart with 30,000 album equivalent units, Love Sucks may have not climbed the ranks of previous efforts of this similar style, but it's no less a solid entry into Avril's discography. As we continue, let me know what your favorite song off Love Sucks is, and if you think it holds up to Avril's previous albums. We're going to be talking about the development of the record. We'll also discuss why it has superseded a lot of what Avril has put out with her last few albums, here on Pop Dissected. In May of 2020, Avril revealed that she'd like to release an album the following year, and had begun working on some new material for it. After being signed to Arista, RCA, Epic, and then BMG, Avril would leave her label sometime this same year. Before she signed onto Elektra and DTA, Avril would begin working independently on Love Sucks in November of 2020, in which she would collaborate alongside Travis Barker to make the track FU. When thinking about what type of music she wanted to make for this album, she was inspired by the cancellation of her Head Above Water tour. The energy of performing her more upbeat songs was the driving force behind the album's inception. The direct content of Love Sucks was influenced by a breakup she had just went through, just being fed up with love, relationships, and commitment. It's a welcome shift and nearly a 180 from Head Above Water, which was more introspective and soft. While many of the tracks on Love Sucks may cover the same territory through a different lens, it brings forward a lot more fun than Head Above Water, which of course had its place and meaning, given what Avril was going through with her battle with Lyme disease. Avril wanted to get back in touch with the music that made her who she was and is as an artist. The resurgence of this particular genre also helped persuade her decision to channel a sound she helped pioneer. She was also very moved by emerging artists like Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and Willow, who have not only created their own distinct path against the grain, but also brought this alternative rock sound back into the forefront, primarily Olivia and Willow. With women being able to stake their territory within a genre or area of music that was once so heavily steered by men, Avril's been happy to see these artists succeed in this way, but also for herself to tread back into these waters in a way that's revitalized. In December of 2020, Avril posted a picture from the studio and shared she had begun working with collaborators like Modson and Machine Gun Kelly, and by February of next year, Avril said she had finished the album. She'd take part in 2 collaborations in 2021, Flames with Modson and Grow with Willow, both of which would let us know which direction Avril would be heading in with her new music. Upon the eventual release of the album on February 25th of this year, Avril stated how easily the material came together, and there wasn't much of a struggle in the creative aspect, as those she worked with just knew what to do. In reflecting upon relationships that didn't work out, Avril sought to make an album that poked fun at the idea of relationships. That's one thing that works so well on Love Sucks. It's just pure fun. There may be a handful of heavy-hitting lyrics that lean into some more emotional sides of breakups, but primarily, it's energetic screw you anthems that are so perfect to scream at the top of your lungs and lose yourself to. Avril provided some insight that it seemed her previous labels were demanding of what type of music or deals she should accept. It also seems her former label wasn't keen on her initial idea for Love Sucks either, stating that type of music just wasn't popular anymore. It's the album she wanted to make for such a long time now. Fun, rock, free-spirited, and a kick-ass attitude. Making music because she wants to, and doing it the way she knows she can. Love Sucks has very quickly become a favorite among fans and critics, becoming her highest-rated album to date based on Metacritic scores. Critics also haven't had anything notably negative to share about the album either. Many have stated they feel Avril has returned to her strengths, and isn't merely playing on nostalgia, but is working progressively within the pop-punk genre, producing fun, exciting, joyful anthems full of empowerment. Though there are a handful of critics that didn't feel the album offered anything substantial, merely offering unfitting music in the context of Avril's age, and rehashing sounds and ideas that we've already seen her put out. Not too long ago, I did a ranking of Avril Lavigne's albums, which you can check out in the description. I'd theorized for myself that Love Sucks would undoubtedly take a high position, and that has not wavered. Maybe it's just because it's the new album, or maybe, to me, it's just that good. But Love Sucks has soared to become my second favorite album by Avril, right behind her classic, Let Go. Let's go into the track list briefly, and I'll give a little thought on all the tracks, which I think are the strongest and which ones I may potentially not have the strongest opinion of. Cannonball really kicks off the album in a way that lets us know what we're going to be in for. Just from the opening lyrics, the tone is set, and it's such a great, energetic, fast-paced track. Though entitled Cannonball, every time I listen to the song, I can't help feel that with the delivery of the lyrics in the chorus, the track could have also been called Ticking Time Bomb or Time Bomb, but I digress. Boys Lie offers a really nice throwback akin to Skater Boy. I mean, listen to the opening of it, and I think that's pretty obvious, and perhaps was an intention of Avril's. Bite Me and then Love It When You Hate Me follow. Both high energy and a bit vengeful. So one thing about me is when I listen to music, I like to imagine my own visual concept. Whether it's a lyric video or a music video, how could this song be translated visually? I always think about that. And I kid you not, I conjured up this idea of a theoretical Love It When You Hate Me music video taking place inside of a jail. Almost like in Orange is the New Black vibes kind of thing. And then when Avril dropped the official video, oh my god, I was floored. Moving on to the title track, it is without a doubt my favorite off the entire album. It is angry, snarky, flirty, and screams classic Avril Lavigne despite being a brand new song. It has become my most listened to Avril song ever. So I don't know what she put in that track, but it worked. Kiss Me Like the World Is Ending offers some nice sentiment to the tracks that preceded it, but we still retain that up-tempo fun. And when you're listening to Love Sucks and then Kiss Me Like the World Is Ending back to back, that transition is just perfect. Avalanche does give us a breather, but it does pick up in the latter half. It's very triumphant and inspirational, and I don't think it's really the type of content Avril writes about a lot, so it's nice to see something a bit unusual, so to speak, included in an album that's more about breakups and not liking relationships. The second verse is probably my favorite part of the song. When that beat drops and she just starts going, the energy is there. And I don't want to be that person, but the way Avril pronounces avalanche is giving me a throwback to how she so confidently pronounced bananas in the track Goddess off Head Above Water.
The more I am a hot mess, the more it goes bananas. It's like I'm running from an avalanche.
Deja Vu throws us back into this almost emasculating, no crap taking storyline. It took me a few listens, because I usually listen to music through my headphones, to realize there's almost this jingle in the very beginning before the drums and the guitar kick in. And I really like that. It's almost a bait and switch kind of thing. You think after Avalanche we're going into another slower track, but boom, it hits you full force. FU follows, and it's just so good and so catchy. All I Wanted seems very old school. It seems to be tapping to that more classic approach concerning the genre. It screams mid-2000s in my opinion. And I always could be wrong, but that was the vibe I got for it. Dare to Love Me gives us another change of pace that offers a different insight into the heartbreak, almost tinged with desperation. We close with Break of a Heartache, and simply put, it's fun. Love Sucks doesn't offer a dull moment with its fantastic energy. I will say, it sometimes can feel like many of the songs are bleeding together though. I don't find them necessarily to be rehashing themselves, but more so the album is collectively a cohesive body of work that rings true to not only Avril's roots, but the genre she so warmly welcomed back. And if there's one thing I've talked about in regards to Avril Lavigne, it's cohesion and feeling disjointed. And I am so surprised and proud to see that this album is very cohesive. Why I think this album works so strongly is because it isn't trying to be anything it's not. In the past, we've seen Avril venture into various types of music, and for one reason or another, they haven't always been her strongest pursuits. With Love Sucks, we're seeing Avril so effortlessly go back to a style we probably thought she wouldn't revisit, and she does it so naturally. With efforts like Goodbye Lullaby and Head Above Water, regardless of the behind-the-scenes issues or intention in making those records, I felt they seemed just a bit off and not tried and true to what Avril Lavigne was fully capable of as a songwriter and a performer. That's not to say these efforts aren't strong in their own right, but I feel that through her experimentation and meeting and navigating label demands, Avril was able to come full circle and find her way back home 20 years after she debuted in the industry. So when it comes to the tracks themselves, which ones do I think are the best, and which ones do I not particularly gravitate towards? Well, full disclosure, the first 8 tracks I listened to non-stop. As a matter of fact, they are significantly more listened to than everything that follows it. And one thing I really love about this album is that I like to listen to it in order. It's one of those albums that, yeah, you can jump around and you can have your favorites, but the smooth transition between each song, every song, yeah, sort of bleeding together but being cohesive, makes this such a pleasurable listen to from top to bottom. I can't say there's any particular reason that tracks like F You, All I Wanted, Dare to Love Me, Break of a Heartache are just not listened to for me. Because I do think everything is good on the album. It's solid. And honestly, my only critique, and I have said this before, so no one get mad at me, is Avril's writing. Sometimes she picks very easy, predictable, cliched rhymes where it's like you can almost tell what word is coming next. This album was really no different for me. She rhymes words with themselves sometimes, repeats a lot of the same phrases, makes very easy rhymes, and honestly, I think at this point I've accepted that is Avril's approach to writing. She doesn't have to write, methodically detailed, intricate lyrics that, to the casual eye, mean nothing related to the music, but you study them and you find a story. Some artists can do that. Some artists want to do that. Avril has showcased her songwriting ability plenty of times, so we know what she's capable of, but I think with just the fun, fast nature of this album, these quick, simplistic lyrics just work for it. I think one of my favorite lyrics is, and that's such another thing that's so good about Love Sucks. We see it in the production, but primarily the lyricism. It's so over the top. It's dramatic. It's this shocking and almost hysterical at times, which I think Avril was going for. I don't want to use the word satire in here, but there's some irony, I think, across some of the lyrics. But moving on, to promote this album, Avril is set to embark on the eponymously named tour, previously referred to as the 2022 tour, and then the Bite Me tour, scheduled to run from April of this year to May of 2023. It's a shame that Avril was gearing up for such an epic return after her Head Above Water tour was cut short. And now Avril is having to reschedule a ton of dates again. Given the priority of the general public's health, this makes sense, but then you have to ask a lot of these artists who are touring right now, what did you think would happen? Anyway, what do you all think of Love Sucks? Do you like that Avril has gone back into her rocker chick attitude? Or do you prefer her more pop and indie sound she's explored over her last few albums? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to get more future content on all your favorite pop stars. And if you'd like to help decide future video topics, get shoutouts and exclusive chat and name badges, then I'd love to have you as a channel member. Thank you for watching.